A new wave of political tension unfolded in Denver this week, when a No Kings rally meant to celebrate democracy and equality turned into a revealing moment about the growing fracture inside the MAGA movement. The event began under bright afternoon skies. Thousands gathered downtown as drums echoed through the streets, and banners waved with the message, "No kings, no masters, no fear." The rally was part of a national movement spreading from San Diego to New York, urging accountability over idolization, reminding Americans that democracy should never kneel before any single man, no matter how tall his towers or how loud his lies. In Denver, people from all walks of life joined in: students, veterans, indigenous leaders, and workers standing shoulder to shoulder to reject authoritarian politics. But what began as a peaceful demonstration took an unexpected turn when a man appeared from the sidelines draped in MAGA gear and filled with anger. Witnesses said he stormed toward the crowd shouting, "God bless Trump," again and again, his voice sharp and trembling, trying to drown out the music of unity with the noise of division. He hurled insults, calling people losers and yelling, "Get a job," as if cruelty proved conviction. His behavior, according to those nearby, reflected what critics describe as a trademark feature of Trumpism, the belief that rage equals strength and that bullying is a form of patriotism. But the crowd didn't respond with fear. People stayed calm. They saw him for what he was. Another symbol of Trump's anger machine. When he tried to start a fight, the crowd pushed back just enough to stop him. He stumbled, shouting that he wanted his glasses back, demanding justice for himself, while others around him chanted for justice for those affected by ICE raids, police violence, and family separations under Trump's leadership. It was a striking contrast. His outburst, many noted, was not about injustice, but about lost privilege. He had expected obedience, but found resistance, expected fear, but met laughter. The moment exposed a core truth about the movement he represented, that it often confuses dominance with dignity and volume with value. The rally continued. Little Wolf, an indigenous leader from the Southwest, led a traditional blessing as the sound of ancient drums filled the air. The crowd stood in silence, hands linked, faces lifted. For them, it was a celebration of unity and empathy. But to those steeped in Trump's rhetoric, that same diversity and solidarity are seen as threats. That's the tragedy of the MAGA narrative. It teaches people to fear inclusion, to see compassion as weakness, and to believe that someone else's freedom takes away their own. Observers say this tension is why movements like No Kings have drawn so much hostility from Trump supporters. The rallies don't preach anger, they project joy, and joy terrifies those who depend on division to maintain control. Footage from Denver shows more than just a scuffle. It captures what political analysts call the physical expression of Trumpism's decay, a philosophy that turned patriotism into resentment and replaced civic pride with grievance. The agitator's breakdown became symbolic of what happens when rage meets reality. He expected to be feared, but instead became a spectacle of pity. Still, the rally's message endured. Across America, similar No Kings demonstrations are spreading, calling for transparency and truth, rejecting both political idolatry and authoritarian tendencies. The movement insists that freedom isn't found in loyalty to a man, but in loyalty to justice. Critics argue that Trump and his allies, including sympathetic judges who twist the law to his advantage, have built a political empire fueled by grievance. They seek obedience over awareness, fear over unity, chaos over stability. Yet, despite their efforts, the No Kings gatherings show a growing appetite for something different, a politics grounded in equality and empathy. The Denver confrontation revealed the illusion at the heart of Trump's movement. MAGA, once sold as a show of strength, increasingly looks like insecurity, wrapped in a flag, anger marketed as courage, bitterness disguised as patriotism. It's not a revolution, observers say, but a cult of self-pity. The incident also underlined a broader global pattern: leaders who use fear to control and division to dominate. Whether in Washington, Moscow, or elsewhere, the playbook is the same. Keep citizens angry and distracted so they never unite. But as the Denver rally showed, unity still breaks through. In the end, the man who came to provoke left in silence. The crowd remained singing, chanting, holding their ground. It was a reminder that the battle for democracy doesn't happen only in Congress or the courts. It happens in the streets, in the voices of ordinary citizens, refusing to bow to any so-called king. Trump's supporters may continue to shout his name, but the cracks are showing. The movement built on resentment is collapsing under its own weight. And while some still chant, "God bless Trump," others are beginning to see what many already know. No blessing can save a cause built on hate.